Tell you what we will be talking about. I'm Mike Aguilar, President of Intercorp. We're the makers of the Fatal Vision Impairment Simulation Goggles, the Sydney Simulated Impaired Driving Experience, and other impaired driving, distracted driving programs. You'll also be hearing from Tennessee Tech. They are the developers of the Reduced Teen Crashes platform. They're also leaders in the development of AR/VR and also highway traffic safety programs. And they'll be talking a little bit about how reduced teen crashes work. But it was in 2013 that Tennessee Tech developed the platform of reduced teen crashes. And then it was in 2017 that Deb Kuzmic, where are you, Deb? Are you in here? She's the Chief Operating Officer and hiding somewhere, is on the rollout team. We have Amanda, who is the VR producer with the IQ team. Stephanie is the manager. Kevin is the executive director of IQ. And then Mac, are you in here, Mac? There's Mac. Hey. Also on part of the IQ team. Randy Wiesinger is a law enforcement liaison and consultant in Wisconsin, all-around traffic safety guru, and also part of the rollout team. But we came together, and this is when we were introduced to Reduced Teen Crashes platform, and we were asking the question how we might form a public-private partnership to roll out Reduced Teen Crashes. And that was then. So you're going to be hearing about this platform and what it can do to reduce teen crashes in your community. I'm sure everybody in this room is intimately familiar with the numbers. However, my guess is it's not the numbers that really drive you to do what you do and why you're committed to try and do something about reducing teen crashes. It's probably the faces behind those numbers, the personal stories that I'm sure everybody has when it comes to traffic crashes. This is a picture of my son and his friend Tyler, some 25 years ago. Tyler and David, who's on the left, were playing in Tyler's front yard when an impaired driver came through the neighborhood, slamming into the yard where the kids were playing. They narrowly missed David, but ran over Tyler. Now, the good news is, in this case, they both survived. Tyler spent a week in the hospital, but recovered from his injuries. Unfortunately, there are many people who encounter either an impaired driver or involved in a crash that do not survive. And that's why we're here, is to figure out how we can prevent these kinds of tragedies from happening. Now, it was just recently that the Reduced Teen Crashes platform was adopted by Delaware County, Ohio. So you're going to hear another story about traffic crashes, but this one with a bright spot. Lieutenant Caudell, commander at the Delaware Post, and sitting right here, will be telling you his story and how he came across reduced teen crashes, has adopted reduced teen crashes for his community, and what is happening right now in regard to that platform. Lieutenant?
Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here, and thank you, Michael, and the Tennessee Tech team for inviting me here to share the story of kind of what's going on in Delaware County and the steps that we are doing to reduce crashes involving teen drivers. So just to give you a little backstory, I took command of the Delaware Post in early December of 2017. And when I took command of the Post, this memorial was sitting outside on the front lawn of the Post. Now, at the time, I didn't really know the exact significance of it, just because I was just arriving at the Post. So it wasn't until soon after that that it really struck home as the what it meant and what each group there stood for. And then I would also soon learn of the significant and growing traffic safety threat to our teen drivers and to our passengers within the county. So on January 24th, 2018, I was preparing to head home for the day when I received a call of a single vehicle crash on State Route 257 in our county. Myself with other officers responded to the scene. And upon arriving on that scene, we found that a 16-year-old male driver and a 15-year-old female rear seat passenger were deceased in that crash. So we lost 2 teens in in one crash. The driver's younger sister was in the front right passenger seat, and she survived that crash. Now, when the Highway Patrol investigates a crash, we're the ones that are ultimately responsible for notifying the next of kin and the family members involved from the victims of those crashes. So after we finished up on the scene, I went to meet with the mother of the 15-year-old rear passenger, and at this point in time, it had been probably over 4 or 5 years since I had to go and make one of these personal notifications. And during that time frame, I had started a young family, had 2 boys at this point in time. So if you've never had to actually go and do that, it's kind of hard to explain the gravity of the impact that doing that has upon you. I'm sure like some of the other stories that you've heard today, a lot of this stuff stems from a tragedy when you really get behind an initiative or a program. So after making that notification, I made contact with all the high school administrators to get them prepared and let them know what they were about to face with the weeks to come there. So we finished up all the notifications and all the preliminary paperwork, and then it was pretty late that evening, and I remember getting home that night, and my wife's getting the boys ready for bed. I helped her out, we got the boys to bed, but in the back of my mind, all I could think about was, what if that was them? So really those thoughts and the impact from that crash and making those notifications really kind of sparked that initiative and the steps I started to take to making a difference in our county. And then as you can see here, these were some of the statistics that I started to find once I started to dig pretty deep into the problem that we were having. So over the next course of the couple months, I started working closely with our Safe Delaware County Coalition coordinator. We were really starting to look at that historical crash data. And looking at that data, we had found that in the last 5 years, we had an 85% increase in teen deaths. And then we took that down to the previous 4 years, that number jumped up to 225%. So that number jumped off the chart at us there. And then over 1,200 people have been injured in crashes involving teen drivers. And nearly 25% of all of our crashes in the county involved a teen driver. So almost 1/4% of our crashes. And Delaware County is one of the 3rd highest crash counties in Ohio. So, and our teen drivers made up less than 5% of our licensed drivers in the county. So as you can see, just from the numbers alone, pretty much the problems we were facing. And then, in law enforcement, we generally address situations through the enforcement, education, and engineering. And then again, looking at the stats, 2017 was a record year for enforcement citations on our youth drivers. So we knew we had the enforcement piece in place. And then obviously engineering, we work all the time for those type of improvements as well. The only piece that we really had missing was education, and that's where this program started to come to light for us. I went to a lot of meetings. We had a lot of people with a lot of great ideas, a lot of great programs, or this program here, this program here, this program here. But there's really no action behind those or a way to get those into the schools and to make a difference and bring all of it together. So while we continue to work on this and try to come up with a great idea and a solution for our problems, we had another fatal crash involving a teen driver in April of 2018. So just a few months later, we had another 17-year-old. So again, we want to make those notifications and the impact that it has. So whenever you have these impacts, it impacts the school, the community, and it also hits home with those first responders that have to go to those scenes as well. And that's pretty much after that happened. I spent probably about a good 3-4 days just trying to figure out what we can do next. And that's when I came across the Reduced Teen Crashes that was created by the Tennessee Tech IQ team. And as soon as I came across it, I was like, this is it. This is what I've been looking for. I was very impressed with the layout and the innovative approach to engaging all the high schools through one platform. And it also kind of brought a vehicle together to bring all those ideas to one place for all the schools. The portal consolidated traffic safety activities in an easy one-stop shop location. It also generated that friendly competition among participating schools. And within our county, we have 11 high schools, and they are extremely competitive. So I knew this was a good vehicle to tap into that competitiveness while also promoting safety activities So again, I started showing this platform to our Safe Communities coordinator, and kind of took it from there. We reached out to Tennessee to kind of ask, hey, what are you guys doing? How can we get involved with this? So we, I think, Stephanie, you were the first person we talked to about this, and so we kind of got the ball rolling there. They sent us more material. Again, we liked what we were seeing. Then they also explained how the program followed NHTSA's best practices of saturation, involvement, and outreach. Then after some of those great conversations we had with them, we knew without a doubt was the direction that we wanted to go and where we wanted to take further action in our county. Once we had the solution that we wanted, we started with pretty much grassroots efforts. We went out. I garnered the support of the Delaware County juvenile judge, who was already a huge advocate for teen driver safety, and but he was also a pillar in the community that we knew we could lean on to get the schools involved. Then I went around and made sure that we had all the law enforcement executives on board, which we have great collaborative relationships within our county already established. So once we had that, we went to the schools to make sure that they would get involved. So we met with every single superintendent out there, and then we met with every principal to ensure, like, you guys will get involved before we start taking future steps in this, and then also finding the funding to support the program. So once we had all that in place, once we had all of our supporting partners in place, we did a formal launch of the program, and we sent out all these flyers to the media, to the community. It was a really great way, once again, to raise awareness, because that's really, I think, we were lacking in that part, because when you would start telling people the stats behind the issues we were having, we always got that same reaction, which was, wow, because they just didn't have any idea. So we launched this program at one of our partners at the Buyers Auto Group, and they held a community event there where we were able to kind of present the program, and we were able to show everyone pretty much what we were doing and the steps we were taking. So we launched this on January 22nd of this year. Let's see here. So basically we worked with Inacorp and the Tennessee Tech team to customize the logo there, and the information, the activities, and you can see all of our supporting partners there at the bottom. Buyers was a huge supporting partner for us, along with our sheriff's office and our prosecutor's office. And then also, since they used seized drug money to help support the program, we were also able to incorporate additional education on underage alcohol, tobacco, and illegal drug use. So it kind of went further just in the crashes. We wanted to tap in also to that drug prevention as well. So that also helped. We were able to bring all that to one place as well. And here's just a few photos from the launch party here. Obviously myself standing there, the sheriff of the county, the judge is standing there next to me, our Safe Communities director, and then our prosecutor there, who also helped contribute to it. So again, it was a very collaborative effort. It just wasn't a one-person initiative. It took a lot of us to get this up off the ground and get the community support behind it and the buy-in for it as well. Right here is Mr. John Durvash from Buyers. Very passionate about the program. I met with him for about 5 minutes and started explaining the program, and he immediately wanted to get involved. And the only one thing he told me was, I don't want this to be a splash in the bucket. This needs to be something we keep doing, because he thought it was a great program, and he didn't want it to be a one-time thing. Here's some of our private supporting partners, some of our AAA members. We've got Mark and Mitch from Better Ohio Teen Drivers. They're sitting right here. They were there at the launch there. Great supporting partners there. We also had some, the Driven app, Robert Abbott was there. And we also had some State Farm reps that were also there, also supporting the program and the initiative. So what we did here at the initiative here, Mark and Mitch were great. They do an advanced driver program in our county. They gave every teen that showed up a certificate to attend. They also got free AAA memberships. So again, we were able to raise awareness and continue to push our message out there. We had a lot of people come to the program here. It was a great launch party. Again, raising that awareness. We had media, so we could push out the message even further there. And just another group picture of Here's all of our SROs. That was another resource we really tapped into, was our SROs to help push the initiative inside the schools as well. And then as you can see here, since we've launched this was about 2 months ago. We've already had 80 total submissions for the activities that we have within the county and over 10,000 students involved. I think that number's actually got higher over the last few days. I mean, it bumped up to 85. So we're able to easily track how many, with this being an education piece, it makes it much easier for us to track, are we increasing the educational efforts within inside the schools here? And as of right now, with only being 2 months in, we have one school with nearly 4,000 points, so they've been extremely active. And they kind of get ranked by being a gold standard, silver standard, or bronze standard. And within 2 months, we've already got 3 at gold standard. So that's beyond impressive. So again, that's what we wanted to see there. And I'll just share a few of the photos here real quick of some of the activities that our high schools are doing. They're putting up some signs here. And again, every time they do an activity, they get points and they get recognized for that. And to do that, they just submit a photo onto the portal. And then we get a chance to kind of show what they're doing by using the social media piece through Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We're able to put that out there. We can highlight what our SROs are doing. It's great community outreach for the law enforcement people, for our safe communities. So here's a few other ones. Again, our SROs are highly involved in the initiative here. I'll just kind of go through a few of these. Here you got the school faculty involved. This is a red thumb reminder, just reminding not to text and drive. You see all the kids involved. I mean, we get we're starting to see that a lot of peer-to-peer driven programs out there, and that's what we wanted to see. And here again, we got officers involved as well. Some just hanging up banners, taking photos in front of them. Again, just raising that awareness and involvement here. Here's a group picture. I think this is a group of our high school students that went to the Better Ohio Teen Drivers course there. Again, that's an advanced drivers course. They get points, again, for attending these courses. Anything they're doing to improve driver safety or education. Just a few more photos here that I'll go through. This one here was just over last week. The school actually hosted a Reduced Teen Drivers Day. They set up a bunch of booths, had the whole school involved right before the basketball team left for a championship game. So it was an excellent way to raise that awareness again, and great outreach for us as law enforcement officers as well. And then what you can see here from this photo, this was at the end of 2018. Unfortunately, in 2018, we added 4 more wreaths to our memorial there. And again, that's what drives us through 2019 is to make a difference. Because again, behind every one of those wreaths is a name, and family that was impacted, friends, a school, a community, and a group of first responders. So in Delaware County, this is the vehicle that we're using to raise awareness and to ultimately try to make a difference. And our ultimate goal is to change that risky driving culture that currently exists within our teens in the county. I think we all know that when crashes are prevented, we save lives, we eliminate injuries, and we can make our roadways a safer place to travel for everyone. And that's, right now, our teens are our primary concern. And this is the initiative that we're using to make a difference. If you guys have any questions here, I know it's a kind of a brief overview. It's a lot of work over a year's time that we put into this, and I was given a 10-15 minute window here, so I didn't want to go too in depth. So
take the whole 45 minutes to relax. So please, this is a great opportunity to hear from someone who is on the ground implementing a platform that has really, in a significant way, raised the number of activities that are happening among the high schools toward traffic safety. So any questions at all, you're welcome.
So how much modification, I guess I'm asking, had to happen between the programming from Tennessee and for it to be brought to Ohio? Because we're a small nonprofit. I guess it's a question, how much changing had to happen to the activities and the program before it was fit for your community?
One of the some of this, I'll let the IQ team answer there. They will be able to kind of the customization. The one good thing that we saw from it is we were able to bring our local programs along with statewide and federal or national programs that are out there to one place, and they'll be able to kind of walk you through those activities and answer those questions. One great thing they did was customize it for mobile use, which was a great way to engage the students, the faculty, the SROs. It made it very easy for them to participate through their phone and the mobile devices there versus a desktop computer. So they continue to do that. They're the brains behind it. So.
What was your biggest challenge in getting it off the ground?
Some of the biggest challenges, obviously, we're finding funding, and then again, kind of ensuring that involvement piece was going to be there. So we didn't want to just, start up the program and hope for the best and hope the schools would get involved. We tapped into a lot of the big community leaders, like our sheriff, he's a big pillar, the judges, and then the superintendents are really where we went ahead, and we had to really get them involved and ensure before we put funding behind it, we knew they were going to get involved and support the initiative.
Was Buyers 12 your main source of funding?
Yes, Buyers funded over
So
half.
you didn't need a lot of money to get it started, then I'm assuming.
What's that?
So you didn't need a lot of money, then I'm assuming, to get it started.
No, I mean, we did it through 3 partnerships. But again, any of the funding questions or pricing model questions probably best answered by them. But we were able to just, our local dealership across the street from the post, and then again, they used some drug seizure money to fund the rest of the initiative.
To get it started in this county, we're estimating that it will cost $12,000 to get it launched, and then some supporting funding year after year to keep the site going and modified and supported by IQ. So $12,000 is kind of an estimate on what it costs to launch it in your community, county.
With this initiative, do you do any education for the parents, or is this just geared towards the teenagers?
Yes, that's probably a huge piece that I kind of didn't have in here. So our state communities coordinator, we have a state teen drivers task force, which is made up of parents, community leaders, and a lot of those parents, unfortunately, are the ones who have lost teens to crashes as well. So they've been a huge advocate as well, and they are actually starting parent groups in each of the high schools so they can be that vehicle as well to encourage more parental involvement and get the schools involved as well.
At these 11 schools, that the SROs are very involved with this. And I applaud you for having all of these signs out and everything. But for those students that don't abide by this, is there punitive action? So have you
spoken to your SROs about that? Because I'm of the mindset that, especially with teenagers, oftentimes they don't take a warning or a verbal reprimand. And for those that aren't abiding by this and by the safety laws and sort of getting on the same sheet of music with everybody else, do you find that your SROs are taking more action against those that may pull into the parking lot texting or maybe violating graduated driver's license, things like that?
I mean, it's hard for me to speak on what the SROs do. I mean, they are through separate agencies. I mean, obviously, as I stated before, our enforcement rates are probably at an all-time high when it comes to our teen drivers. So, I mean, as far as whether they're not participating, I mean, if they're violating a section of law, obviously the law enforcement officer sees that from our statistical value, taking enforcement action in those areas. And I mean, we partnered with our other agencies
we've done here in Tennessee.
Louder, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to briefly touch on what we've done here in Tennessee. So in Tennessee, we are in all 95 counties. We've been doing the program for about 5 years, and we have placed over 404 road signs across the state. So that's just very important, very impactful. So as far as one county to a large scale and how it can work.
And I'm just going to go over kind of what is involved in the website. I'm not going to take you directly to the website because you can see that when you go to the websites. But this is kind of like a bare bones overview of what is on the kind of the components, major components of the site that are kind of standard across the program. I had some really, really terrible font that you would have really, truly hated, and it actually, when it transferred over, gave you like real eligible or legible words. So they're kind of on top of each other. That's just because I use a terrible font. My mistake. So basically on the homepage, the program in each state is called Reduce, insert your state abbreviation here, crashes.com. And that's just kind of standard across the Reduce Teen Crashes platform, reduce blank blank crashes in your state. On the homepage, you'll see a state map. You'll see counters, and like you saw in that presentation, counters of the state involvement in the program, like the number of schools involved, the numbers of activities in the state that are available, number of road signs. We have a lot of measurements we could put in that box based on what you want to see. The gold schools recognized from the most recent years, so each year we try to highlight what schools were super involved, who reached that gold level, kind of encourage them to like do it again so they remain on the homepage. We also have a feature that shows the top activities being completed in the state, so kind of like these are the ones people like to do the most, so maybe you should do it, kind of like encouraging people, don't know where to start, maybe start at these. And then founding sponsor logos. So if there's any sponsors from your state that really started this initiative, they would go on the homepage to kind of give them that recognition. How it works, it's 3 basic steps. You activate your school, you complete activities, and you earn points to reach goal. And these things kind of happen at the same time, so I'll go through that. First, you activate your school. Each school in the state, in the county, has their own school page. On that school page, you can see your school's logo to get the school spirit. Oh, that's mine. I was a dragon. I thought that was the coolest logo ever. And I haven't seen a better one yet. But so we were the dragons. And then you see the activities. Each activity, students submit, officers submit, admins submit. They come with pictures. So to get your points, you have to submit a picture. So you have like a whole like slideshow of every picture that's ever been taken at your school going across the bottom of the page. So that's kind of cool because you can see yourself and feel famous. So that's nice. And then points. We'll show you all the activities you completed through any year of the program, but really, what did you complete this year? Because each year starts over, so you're earning each year. So you'll see all the activities you completed and how many points you have. And then you complete activities. So this is kind of like the background of the program. Basically, there's all these traffic safety programs happening in the state already, in the nation already. We didn't want to reinvent the wheel, so we just put them all under one house. So you don't have to Google like activities in my state or anything. It's just kind of all under the same roof. So that's, this is the bulk. This is just a little portion of the, just one little screenshot of all the activities we have. We have a lot of activities. Yeah, so you just click one. Each are worth different point amounts, each have different kind of like requirements, but basically you go to that organization's page and do whatever it says to do. So I'll show you how to do an activation activity. So this is just an example of one of our activities. This is what we say should be the first activity. It really meets that saturation of the NHTSA best like saturation, involvement, and outreach. Basically, you're just getting information out there. This is the first activity we recommend schools to do, and it involves all those pictures that you saw. It's distributing graduated driver's license information throughout the school, and a lot of states already have those, like through the Highway Safety Office, so you hand those out. Hang safe driving banners. I think the one that we use is that one texter call, could wreck it all. You hang those up, you install metal signs in the parking lots, and you just take pictures, and you tell us a little bit about your activity, and you get your points. This is an example of the form that we use. You earn your points to reach goal. That's the third thing you do. you basically kind of just a Facebook post. We had a great day today. This is what we did. This is how we did it. These are the problems we faced. Whatever you want to write, whoever's submitting the points, and then you upload your photos. It goes for review. We actually have on here, how would you rate this activity? And there's five little like fire emojis, so you can say, this activity was lit. I like that. Anyway. And then the leaderboard. So there's a leaderboard on the website that shows all of the competing schools, and you'll see like some of them have little stars. This was before the third school got the gold, I think. But you'll see little stars beside them, and it just shows you, are you at the gold level already? Are you silver? Are you bronze? And then it's just a race to the top at that point. So yeah, the leaderboard. County pages, there's also going to be, so like for those states that want to have specific county kind of highlights. So like if another county came on in Ohio, Delaware County could face off against whatever county is there. And you'll have your own kind of mini page, like a school page. So instead of your school logo, you can have a banner across the top of like, I put our Cream City because it's ice cream and a train track. It's just a fun, we're from Putnam County, so I just made it look fun. You can have state-specific, a scoreboard for the schools in that county, so you can see how your county's doing. If you want to have like a inter-county competition versus a statewide, and then kind of do both and just give everybody prizes, that'd be fun. And your county-specific sponsors. So those are just some examples of sponsors. But that way, even if your state, if you have like a few sponsors that are super involved in one county, you can put them at the bottom of that page. So that's how they'll be highlighted. And then this is my last slide. Frequently asked questions. These are basically the questions that we always kind of get asked. Number one, who in the school can submit to get points? Anyone. Students, SROs, admins, anybody can submit to get points. Number two, how do I activate my school? You just start. You just do an activity and you submit a picture and a little description, and you're starting. We do suggest people start with that activation activity though, because it's saturation. And then what are the bronze, silver, and gold levels? And that was already mentioned. They represent the 3 levels of NHTSA best practices in the realm of traffic safety. Saturation, involvement, and outreach. Basically, once you've completed like 15 activities and have a quadrillion points, you've probably done all 3. So that's kind of the idea. And I think that's, did I miss anything? Okay, yeah, that's it. Woo.
Any questions for the activity? Yes?
Do you ever have students come up with their own activities? Is there a place for them to enter that?
Yeah, so on the Tennessee side and on the Ohio side as well, there is a place for bonus points. And so basically they submit them there, and then most of the time I kind of steal that idea and I add it as an activity, because that's what we want. We want to see that student-driven, student-led. From the things that I've seen, that's where they are going to learn the most, if they kind of get all invested and all involved. Any other questions? Yes.
So what happens when the school reaches goal? Is there anything else that happens? Yay! You do an assembly, say good job. Is there anything else?
Yes. So in Tennessee, we contact our state highway safety office. We let them know basically this is where we are. We try our best to set up a presentation at that school. We usually try and coincide it with like a mock crash or something else that's really big happening with the school. We like for the media to come out. So yes, we give them a gold award. Depending on the year, some other partners may throw in like gift cards or something like that to kind of give initial or a different incentive. So it varies from year to year, but essentially yes, we do a big assembly presentation and we give them an award.
So how many schools reach gold?
So last year we had a total of 7 schools, I believe. I believe it's 7. My notes aren't popping up on here, so it threw me for a loop. But we had a total of 7 schools reach gold. This year we have 1 school that's already reached gold at Tennessee. So
How many schools altogether?
how many schools altogether? We have a total of 52 activated schools so far. So. This year, yes, just this year. So it varies from year to year about which schools kind of get activated, jump on board for the year, and then kind of, they filter in, filter out different initiatives, leadership change, those types of things. Yes. That is a question I will leave for the leaders over here. So but for the county model, the base model is the 12,000, I believe. Yes. Any other questions?
Thank you, guys. Liska has a couple of comments, and I do want to say that Pam Fisher just came out with her report that NHTSA has on best practices and reduced teen crashes is listed as one of those activities. Kevin?
Yeah, so one of the questions we always get is how did something like this start? And it was actually at the Governor's Highway Safety Office meeting in Baltimore several years ago. Pam Fisher was given a report. She told a story about her kids at McDonald's after a concert. A car came crashing into McDonald's, and she talked about activities and the importance of doing activities. And then I walked into a presentation where Tazewell County in Illinois was talking about having a large number of fatalities. I believe it was like 11 fatalities in just an 18-month period. And they said, the lieutenant said, every traffic safety program in the country came to Tazewell County after these fatalities. And he was joking, but there was some truth in what he said. And then he said, and for the next 4 years, we didn't have one fatality. So putting together what Pam Fisher said and Tazewell County about activities lead to positive things happening, it was kind of like a no-brainer to put together a system that was a smorgasbord of traffic safety activities. And to get the kids to compete and put the power in their hands, they compete for football, for basketball, for baseball. Why not compete for traffic safety leadership? So in Tennessee, in less than 2 years, we made it to all 95 counties. I believe it was 200 schools in total. And then when the county model was developed and it went to Delaware County, that rapidly in 3 short months, was met with equal success. So if you go to reduceOH for Ohio crashes.com, you'll see the mobile platform, and right on the home screen, you can actually see, it tells you the number of schools, the number of students involved, the number of activities. And so everything is database driven. The leaderboard all pulls to the database, and that allows all the data to be constantly updated on the system forever and ever. So if you want to take a look at the Tennessee version, it's a reduced TN crashes. And one thing that's kind of cool is that working in Delaware County led to a lot of innovations. And then now that those innovations are learned, like with the latest things that we've been learning about the rapid movement to the gold and the mobile platform, then those will work its way back into the Tennessee system. So it's kind of cool how it kind of comes full circle. And today we met, Tazewell County is here, and we randomly ran into them, and we were telling them about what has come from their presentation 5 years ago. So that's kind of cool too. So Michael and I and Randy would be pleased to answer any additional questions. Michael?
If you register for the session, we have your emails, and we can provide you updates on the program as we progress. If you didn't register and you would like to be on that list, Randy has that list. You can just add your name to it, and we'll make sure to update you on the program as we progress. But we've had other counties approach us already, asking on the process for implementing with this system in their county. So if you have that interest, talk to Randy. So thank you for being here, and have a great